Yo, we got trailers for Venom, Deadpool 2, Solo, Jessica Jones Season 2, Richard Pryor may have fucked Marlon Brando, and Joaquin Phoenix might play the Joker. All this and more on
Red Beard Podcast.
Yeah.
Do it and how about that? Do it red hair and I don't care. Red Beard Podcast. Red Beard Podcast. Red Beard Podcast. Gonna kick your ass. Red Beard Podcast. Yeah. Red Beard Podcast is brought to you by these cool dudes.
Yo, what's good, fam? What's up? It's Rhode Island, and it's wonderful. It's the best in the world. The only place where you can get a quahog and jog from coast to coast in 15 minutes.
Can you really, though? Coast to coast in 15 minutes? All right. Word.
A brisk jog. It's not even a
brisk jog.
sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close the ranks.
Yo, what's up, guys? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. How you doing? How's everybody doing?
Yo,
Chilling?
sound off. Yo, who's here tonight? Who's here today?
Tony.
Jim.
Cooley.
Hello.
That's my buddy Pedro.
And me.
You know who that is.
Ren's back.
I had pneumonia. I didn't die.
Welcome back. Thank God.
Well, thanks so much.
You sound healthier.
Feels like forever since you've been here. You know that, right? It just feels like so.
It was 3 weeks, but
We
y'all
missed
had
you.
y'all had
Yes.
a break. Don't lie. Y'all liked it.
Not really.
We like having your perspective on things. You rock. And
Really?
and Jay filled in a little bit for us, help us out. Yeah, definitely.
Jadro.
It was fun. Yeah, Jadro. It was fun. I had a blast. and now you have Ren, and then you have the weird guy too.
Yo,
just hanging out.
that should be your rap name, man. You gotta change it to Jadro.
Jadro. No, I already have a hip hop name. We know this.
Yeah, I know.
It's Young Jablaze.
Young
I know.
Blaze.
I know, but Jadro is so dope though. That's such a dope name.
right.
I just came up with that.
I like that. So you know what? My next project, I'll be Jadro.
Word.
Hell yeah. Word.
So a lot of shit happened, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like
ton.
a lot.
Yep.
Like a lot. Like
Like
first,
what?
let's revisit. What in two episodes ago? We're gonna revisit 2 episodes ago because you said that you'd be cool with this.
Yeah, I said I'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
What are we cool with?
So a couple of episodes ago, we discussed the Patriots versus the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I was very upset that the Patriots were going back to the Super Bowl. I was very upset because I thought that they were just going to like win this Super Bowl, and now I'm not like ecstatic. I'm not a happy guy that the Patriots lost.
A lot of people are.
However, I was happy to go to work and just hear silence. It was great. That was the good thing. That's the good thing that I got out of it. But I don't take pleasure in my friends being upset. Can we just get a feeling, a general feeling around the table about how we feel about this loss?
I will say one thing, and this is what I posted on Facebook that like right after they lost. I said, as a Patriots fan, I will be the first person to say that it was an awesome and very close game, and congrats to the Eagles because they deserved it. I thought they played better than us. Their defense was phenomenal. Ours was not, and that's one of the reasons we lost. But congrats to the Eagles, and we'll see what happens next year.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. You know, I'm bummed that they lost, but what am I going to do? I'm not going to cry about it. Like, it sucks. It sucked for that night and the next day after that, but congrats to the Eagles, man. You know, they pulled it off. Yeah.
How do you feel, Jim?
No, I agree. It didn't hurt as much as I thought it was going to lose, but I really don't want to say it, but they deserved to lose.
Yeah.
Their defense was atrocious, the Patriots, and the Eagles 100% won that game. They deserve to be champions, and nothing I can say about that.
Yeah. Word.
So there was some controversy over the Clemens touchdown. How do you feel about it? Like, do you think that it should have been called a touchdown? I actually watched that a couple of times, and I felt like it could have gone either way. And if I was a Patriots fan, I'd probably be pretty heated about that, and I'd be like, look, that shouldn't have been a touchdown. But
I remember that exact moment, and as a Pats fan, I even said, "Yep, that's a touchdown." Like, they got that, and I watched the replay like 6 times.
So I'm not talking about the Ertz touchdown though. Like the
Which one are you talking
the
about?
Ertz touchdown is the one that was kind of clear, but they kind of made a big deal out of it, and did replays and did all that shit just because it was under the 2-minute warning, so they have to do that. But the one I'm talking about was the one that was like kind of bobbled a little bit as he was going out of the end zone.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was, I think that was a classic case of no matter what, they called it a touchdown. So I expected them to come back and say the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchdown. I didn't think that it was going to get turned over.
Because there wasn't like enough evidence or whatever, right? Yeah. All right. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, one thing I can say is that they did let them play. Mm-hmm. Like the refs just let them play. There wasn't a whole lot of like penalties on either side of the ball. So there's not a whole lot of room for people to say, oh, like, the refs were in the Patriots' pocket, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if that was by design, but, bravo, because I still believe that the refs can be bought. But I think that they were very quiet in this game.
Word.
Did the goalies have a hard time with the home runs? Is that what the problem was?
I mean, from what I could see, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
There was honestly the puck handling was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I just
some decent 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Jay doesn't watch sports.
No, I just I knew after the fact that the Patriots had lost and the Eagles had won, and then once I found out the Eagles, it was their first Super Bowl win or no? Second?
Yeah.
Good
No,
for
it's their first win.
Good for them. That's awesome. I think every team deserves it. And
But I hear I hear Nick Foles and Eli Manning are filing for joint custody of Tom Brady.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Zingo! So we've got some trailers to get to, right?
All right, so moving right along. I'm not gonna rub it in that much. Moving right along, we are gonna jump right into the Venom trailer.
Word.
Cause how much stuff do we have to talk about with this one?
Wait, Venom was in that trailer?
We have so much to talk about. This teaser was like chock full of nothing.
But there's
it
a lot
was
of
absolutely fucking nothing in this trailer except for a guy getting an MRI done, and like who the fuck knows why? Because Eddie Brock never had any reason to get an MRI done. He was a fucking reporter that reported some bullshit and got called out on it. So then he had a shared hatred for Peter Parker with the Venom symbiote that was rejected by Peter Parker because it was too fucking evil.
Wasn't there
That's the story.
In the teaser, wasn't there a car crash that maybe that's why he had the MRI? I don't know.
I know, but here we go. This is
But he
this
looks
is Hollywood
fine, and
rewriting
like the
shit.
car's upended like on a tree, and there's like millions of people surrounding it, and then it's just like, oh, I'm fine.
Completely.
He
agree
just
with
looks
you.
like he has like a little tummy ache, and he's laying down, and it's like, oh, okay.
When a car flips and then you see the guy that find the MRI, it doesn't make sense. But I'm like, maybe that's why he's getting the MRI. Like, why else would he be in there? But I don't know. Just a lot of people were posting on social media that this teaser was bullshit because everybody wants to see Venom and we didn't see him, and then there's other people that are like, well, it's a teaser, like they're getting you amped because Venom, like you gotta wait to see him. I'm like, well, no.
right?
How did that jack anybody up by watching?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
like,
what other people
that's-
somehow
it's
had
try-
said.
a seizure at
That
the
was
end.
trying to entice you.
Quoting. I'm
Venom's
not
coming.
defending anything. I'm quoting what was said. That's not my view.
I'm just saying, if you're trying to tease me, right, you got to show me a little boob. I need some boob action.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe just like like whale tail that shit for me. You know what I mean? Like do something.
Whale tail.
Do something to make me get a little bit excited.
Daddy likes a
to
little
that.
bit of clavicle.
Little bit.
We're still talking about
You know what I'm
Venom.
saying? Yes, we are talking about Venom. We got nothing. We went to a strip club. where they keep all their clothes on. That's basically what we did.
Yeah, at least like we want to see like a close up of the Venom smile with the teeth or something.
What
And we got
I think
nothing.
would have been cool is like even if it was just like a drip of the ooze, just a drip.
Yeah.
That
Oh
would've
no,
been
they
better.
showed it.
Well,
They
they
showed
showed
it
it like a
They showed the
canister,
ooze
like-
in a
Oh, okay.
canister.
All right. I-
not attaching itself to him.
Clearly, we know that I did not watch it for a lot of reasons, but also like I happened to see some activity on the Redbeard Podcast Facebook, and then there was someone following it and challenging y'all on that teaser. I mean,
Yeah.
that was interesting. So I don't know. I started following the Redbeard Podcast on Facebook, so
Yeah.
it was pretty intense to see that. So I don't know. I wish
Hey,
more
you're not
people.
the only one though.
I'm,
There's
I'm
a
not
lot of
the
folks that have
only
done that.
one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. They should be following you on Facebook. But I thought it was
they
great.
win prizes
I hope this
and,
movie bombs
and
just
do
to
all
put
kinds.
this one
Actually,
guy in
no,
his
we haven't
place.
given anything away yet, but we will. We will.
Man, yeah. I don't know.
It was fun. It was fun, like going back and forth with like people and seeing their opinions. And I mean, I feel like there was so much stuff that actually came out.
Yo, the
like,
first
over the
50
past week.
people to sign, the first 50 people to hit that like button and follow us.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do both. Get a roll of paper towels. Viva.
That's
All right.
quality shit.
Yeah.
2-ply? Like we're not messing around with no single ply, right?
It's a single ply, but it feels like a lush towel.
Oh my god, like a cottonelle.
Yeah, like the kind you steal from a resort.
Yo, the fine print on this is that you have to ask me for the fucking roll of paper towels too. Like, I'm not just gonna fucking like monitor that shit and send it to whoever signs up. You gotta verbally ask me for the paper towels, and I'll send them to you. I swear, because I
Word.
need your address and all that shit.
All right, word.
Oh, you'll pick one person out of the first 50. Because that's a lot of paper towels.
No, I will send 50 fucking rolls of paper towels. You give me 50 followers,
I
I
feel
send
like-
out 50 rolls of Viva.
Can I unfollow and then refollow for towels?
Nope.
I feel like the shipping cost for the is gonna cost more.
Yeah, I ain't
What
worried. I'm
in
not
the
worried.
F
I
are
ain't
we
worried.
talking
I ain't
about
worried
right
about
now?
shipping
We're
costs.
talking about Venom.
I ain't worried. I ain't worried about shipping costs. Yeah, this is how fucking interesting the Venom
I
trailer
was
is.
just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. This is how awesome it was that we can't talk about it because there was nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of white people in that trailer.
Sick.
Except,
There's a lot
except for the villain who's black.
All right. Word.
He's black and white.
That's right.
He's Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So anyway, that's
moving
Venom.
on.
That's
Venom's
Venom in a
black.
nutshell.
It took me a second.
Jesus, Jim.
Yo, so on the other side of this, you have the Deadpool 2 trailer, which was absolutely leaps and bounds better than the Venom trailer.
Yeah. Deadpool was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 It was dope though. Like,
Yeah, it was.
yo, Cable is, I can't even like fucking put it into words. Cable is like perfect.
Can I just like give props to Josh Brolin for getting like jacked for this? He's one of those actors that just like started going to the gym for 5 hours a day, like whatever, I can do it. And now he's just like ripped.
Yo, if you've
Like-
ever seen the TV show about the families,
I have, yeah.
about the family with James Brolin.
What?
I know what you're talking about.
You know
I
what I'm
forgot the
talking
name of
about?
the show, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, Google that for me. James Brolin TV show about families.
I'm on it.
Thanks, Jim.
James Brolin.
Yo,
Families,
he
TV.
could be Cable.
He could be.
Yo, that family has some genetics, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, that's their. Dude, James Brolin and Josh Brolin are both very good actors. You know what I mean? And I was not surprised to see Josh Brolin get all ruined for this. Like he's not like he just looks like ridiculous in this. Like, when I saw him as Cable, like when they posted pictures of him for the first time, where he was getting ripped, I was pretty blown away because I
Life
heard
in Pieces. I'm sorry, Life in Pieces is
That's
the name
it.
of that show. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally, nope, we're good. It had a cap on it, so the coffee did not spill. But no, they actually,
Oh man, that was a big wake-up call for all of us.
he got signed to do this movie, and pictures surfaced probably maybe about 2 weeks later, or a couple weeks later, that like with him all like ripped out. So I think they announced that he was signed for the movie when he already knew that he had gotten it, because he had already gotten in decent shape like as soon as we found out.
Now,
So-
I was kind of hoping for that like Liefeld-esque Cable where his like shoulders are ginormous and his gun is way bigger than he should be carrying with calves the size of a Cadillac. But I guess we're not going to get that, huh?
No, I think that's comic book Cable. I mean, like they can have. Well, some of their body parts are more proportioned than others, I guess. But I mean, it's just I don't know. I think he looks good. I think he's gonna kill it as Cable, and I really got a good feeling about him playing this character from the trailer.
I mean, maybe if you cast Brock Lesnar as Cable, we would have gotten what you were looking for.
Right on. I'm okay with it. I think he looks great. I saw the some of the stills and it looks really, really good. Cable's one of those characters that I think just I don't know. I think people are ready for him. But I'm willing and Cable.
But I'm willing in Cable.
Jesus.
So wait, so Cooley, let's go back to you saying that James Brolin, his father, could play Cable.
Yeah.
He looks like Dr. Hammond in Jurassic Park now.
Yeah, he's so fucking old.
But I also think I think you're saying like younger James Brolin, because
No.
what are you
No,
saying?
I'm saying
James
saying
Brolin?
current James Brolin.
Oh well, because I thought that now I'm lost too. Yeah. All right.
Have you ever seen Cable? Like actual Cable, like from the comics? Like he's an old
Have you
dude.
seen James Brolin?
Yeah. You gotta watch Life in Pieces. I'm telling you, the dude's not that
This is
out of
how
shape.
good the Deadpool 2 trailer was. They were talking about James Brolin.
No, okay, so the Deadpool 2 trailer was actually better than that, though.
No,
Like,
it was. It was phenomenal.
Like Domino looks friggin' great, walking around and shooting people and doing all that shit. I love Cable's aesthetic. I love the little teddy bear that he carries with him, because it kind of makes you want to know why he's carrying a little teddy bear with him, and I'm guessing it has something to do with Hope. The what is she? Is she a clone? No, she was a baby. Yeah, from Messiah Complex, right? Yeah.
But they teased that too in the original photos they released of Cable. There was the teddy bear. So they've been planning to do that for a while. So the fact that they actually kept it like in the film as well is cool. And we saw that again in the trailer as a reminder that it's going to be a point to bring up.
And the humor of Deadpool is well intact.
Oh hell yeah! Ryan Reynolds can do no wrong as this character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the special effects aren't there on the arm, so he stops everything and he's like, "Hey, we need special effects." He says it's not like we're trying to get rid of a mustache or whatever, or like erase a mustache or some shit like that. And that's obviously a call out to Justice League.
Yeah.
Because Henry Cavill had the weird mustache debacle.
Yeah, he did.
Did you know about that, Jim?
I did not know.
So here's what happened is...
So they like CGI'd out a mustache?
Well, yeah, because Henry Cavill had another movie that he was filming simultaneously, and he was under contract to have a real mustache. Like, it couldn't be a fake mustache. So Warner Brothers was like, hey, we're trying to film him as Superman. He can't have a mustache. And the other studio was like, hey, fuck you, Warner Brothers, because guess what? He's under contract with us, and he's going to have a mustache. So Warner Brothers was like, all right.
Who's
I guess
good
we'll just
at Final Cut?
Yeah. No, it was literally, it had to be like After Effects or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, just,
Yeah.
let's just like
What was
scrub
this
that
other
mustache
movie?
right off his face.
So Industrial Light and Magic, what's up?
I feel like
figure this out.
I wonder if
Justice League had
it's like
its
the Man from
faults.
U.N.C.L.E. 2 or something, because like he had a mustache in that,
has to be
didn't
a
he?
bigger movie.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
It was the Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Is there a Man from U.N.C.L.E. 2? I think that might have been what it is.
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Whatever.
They
it
made
is,
a
he
part
needed
two?
A fucking mustache. They were like, you need to have a mustache.
I'm looking it up right now.
But yeah, so like that was a little pop shot at Justice League, which was funny as hell. And then he goes on to act out an action figure battle between him and Deadpool, and he's dressed up in his character. His action figure is the Deadpool action figure is dressed up as a character from Toy Story, and it's actually not even like one of the male characters. He's dressed up as Jesse. From Toy Story 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. Yeah, I know, because he did
Or two?
reference.
Jesse was from Toy Story
Well,
2,
he did
right?
reference a line though that Woody says, which I think he.
at the very beginning.
Yeah,
of Toy
so
Story
I think
1.
he supposed to be Woody? Like
No,
dressed
he
up
was
as-
definitely dressed up as Jesse, though.
All right, where did I miss that?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be fucking hilarious. The characters look spot on. Domino looks amazing. Cable looks amazing. Deadpool is Deadpool. It doesn't look like that's changed much. And the taxi driver's back.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the taxi driver. I was talking to you guys about this earlier. Like the fact that dude actually like claimed a role as the taxi driver. He's gonna be in every Deadpool movie now. Like that guy killed it with that role. Like he landed a pretty sick role. It's such an easy role, but good props to him, man. That's awesome.
For real.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Deadpool 2 in a nutshell.
Also,
Moving right along.
I think the movie
Or not.
that we're thinking about for Henry Cavill is called No Miss. It's an upcoming Canadian-American psychological thriller, which stars Henry Cavill, Ben Kingsley, and Stanley Tucci.
Yo, that's a good lineup though, man. I actually like all of those actors.
Decent lineup. I feel like I don't understand how it was able to get one over on Justice League.
Yeah. I don't know.
Contract. Contractual agreement, which I am sure there was nothing in the contractual agreement in Justice League that stated that he could not have a mustache.
Okay.
That's interesting. I wonder what those clauses look like.
Yeah.
Subtext A, follicle count,
So as
upper
so-
lip.
So what did you think of the Deadpool trailer?
I mean, it's exciting because I can just assume that the movie will be great, but trailers don't really do it for me. Like, I'm like, oh, that was a cool minute and a half that I watched. Like, can't wait to see what comes from it. Trailers they're all right, but like, you go through, you watch a bunch of them, and you're like, cool, this is the best condensed version that they could pick, or it's either like trash and they're like, oh, was this like inconspicuous enough? Did we hide enough from you? Can you guess what's gonna happen? Like the Venom trailer was straight up trash, where you're just like, it was like a hot garbage fire, and you're like, I hope this movie's okay, but this doesn't make me want to spend $12 on it.
Right.
And Deadpool, like the first one was great. I like the marketing that they had on the first one. Like they spent a bunch of money doing really cool ads, and I was like, I'm gonna go see this. This is gonna be great. And I watched it, and I didn't get to see Ryan Reynolds' dick, which whatever. He was naked in it, but I didn't get to see anything. So, and
That's a big paycheck.
that's a big paycheck. Like flash that dong. Like I'll give a little bit of my money. Like let's go to town.
Yeah,
But-
that was like the only thing I didn't like about it either.
Yeah. Flash that dick. It was like a scarred dick too. Like put some makeup on.
Oh,
Yeah.
especially after the explosion, we should have seen
It
some
was
kind
like-
of fucking package,
yeah.
right? Like just some
Like
kind of.
even when it's hard, it looks kind of flaccid.
Yeah. Put like a hand puppet on. I don't know, something.
Can we get a silhouette?
Yeah.
You know, just even a silhouette. I just want to see how it hangs. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
how yeah. That's it.
That's what I want to see. Like you can make a joke about it too. Just make it like freaking huge, and then have him make a Deadpool comment about it, and then you're like, "That's what I wanted." Bye. But Deadpool 2, I'm very excited. I love Domino as a character, so I hope they do really cool things with her. But we'll see. It's a trailer. It's just a summary. And when you listen to your friends summarize movies, you're like, wow, that sounds fucking bad. And then you go and watch it and you're like, I liked that. So-and-so is just a terrible summarizer.
I do want to piggyback on what Ren just said and the fact that the trailer was cool. There was a lot of shooting and special effects, and Cable was in it, and obviously Ryan Reynolds' humor is intact, but it didn't tell you anything about the plot or storyline. It was just a bunch of action sequences
Right.
and letting you know that Cable is indeed in the movie. So I want to see it. I'm excited for it. But you really don't get a sense of where this movie is going based on this trailer.
But I also really don't think that they need to either. I mean, like, everybody loved Deadpool. Like, when it came out, it was a hit. It killed. It was a rated R movie, which everybody wanted. It did really well. Ryan Reynolds killed it and got praise for it. So everybody's been waiting for the sequel to this movie. So I don't think that they need to really go into depth about the story. People are going to go see it regardless because of how well the first movie did.
But for it to do well, it needs to have a good plot. Like the first one, you were like, oh shit, this guy, his whole life is fucked up because he wanted to stick around, and then he ends up getting like his girlfriend back at the end. So you're like, it was like a kind of pseudo romance novel, and there was like enough going on where it was always interesting. It wasn't just like dick and fart jokes, because I would have been tapped out if it had been just that, because the crowd was like 90% Walmart people who were like, I'm here because he's gonna fucking talk about dicks and stuff. And I was like, I already hate this. Everyone was wearing camo fleece or Tinkerbell sweatpants. I was just like not into the crowd. And
Camo fleece was a thing?
Yeah.
But it's still people at Walmart who are just stereotypes of Italian guys. That's every voice she does. I love it, man. It never gets old for me.
I only have one voice.
But that was also the voice you gave yourself when you responded to the trailer. I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, this is gonna go.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's how you sound in your head.
That is me in my head.
That's amazing.
I love it, dude. It never gets old, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like with the Deadpool,
Love it.
With Deadpool, like you don't have to show us anything, like as far as what the movie's gonna be about. I mean, I think it
Right.
relies on you not knowing stuff so that you can so it can be more funny for you, like because like you're gonna. Like even like in the first movie, like the stuff that they showed you, like the jokes and stuff like that, most of those jokes weren't even in the movie.
Yeah, no, I
Which
agree.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like they literally had stuff that they wrote for the trailer and rewrote for the actual shots.
True.
So it's pretty good shit.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
They know their memes.
They know their
They
stuff.
know the
Yeah.
stuff. Yep.
So yeah, that's it. We're gonna take a break and we will be back with some more trailer talk.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Supply and demand investing, where not all investments are created equal.
Yo, Tony, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Yo, man, want to play a game of Would You Rather?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Word. Yo, so would you rather invest in eBay at a 0% dividend per year over the course of 3 years, or invest in Amazon at a 0% dividend per year over the course of 3 years?
Oh, dude, that's easy, man. I would go with Amazon because Amazon makes a killing. They sell everything, and I use Amazon like twice a week, and I know that they are killing it this month in the Christmas season.
All right, well, that's that. I think that's a sound decision. Find out if you made the right decision by checking supplyanddemandinvesting.com/redbeard.
Supply and Demand Investing is here to offer guidance when it comes to investing. Whether you want to invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or exchange-traded funds, Supply and Demand Investing is here to help.
And unlike the buy and hold method of investing of the past, supply and demand investing is comparative to any good sports team. There are good times to play offense by investing your hard-earned money in things like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, real estate, or international equity. And there are times to play defense by investing in fixed income, higher dividend-paying assets like bonds, CDs, or cash. So check out supplyanddemandinvesting.com/redbeard.
Yo, Solo is gonna be garbage. I am so pissed off about this. So like last month we talked about how Baby Driver Ansel Elgort didn't get the role. So he started wearing like the clothes that he wanted to wear in Solo and all that jazz. Can we talk about how fucking old the dude that they cast looks? He looks like fucking like in his mid 40s and he's 28. He looks ridiculous. His ass chin is so deep and it's like it's got its own fucking 5 o'clock shadow inside of it. It's so deep and it's distracting. His feathered hair is straight garbage. Then they have the robot and also Kimberly from Power Rangers. Like, her bangs are distracting.
She's in that?
It looks just like her from the fucking TV show.
What happened to her?
No, it looks like they CGI'd her in. It's got the same hair.
It's Emilia Clarke from.
Well, yeah, but
She just looks.
Game of Thrones.
She looks
Game of Thrones.
terrible.
It's Kimberly, the big Power Ranger.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
That's what it looks
Khaleesi.
like.
Yeah.
She's very mediocre looking without blonde hair. Like, you look at her and you're like, wow, I would just pass her on the street and not even sexually harass her. She's very mediocre looking.
Not even. Well, okay.
Like,
Not even sexually harassing.
not even sexually harass her. But like,
Her loss.
but then there's so much going on. Like, they tried to make it look like 80s sci-fi, but then the CGI is like so good that some of it looks hella futuristic, but it's trying to be the past. Like,
Okay.
but past future. And then they have like some straight up Fifth Element, like weird ass 80s what the future looked like outfits. And then other parts of it, it's like, this is the best fucking
Are you
effects
talking
we've
about
had.
where she comes out of and she's some girl comes out, she's got like the red cloak on? Is that what you're talking about?
Just like a bunch of different outfits. There's the guy who's wearing like the military like little outfit,
Yeah.
and it looks like weird 80s. It doesn't
And
even.
Donald Glover's wearing like a black, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like they tried to
Like,
really be like, here's what it would look like if they made this movie like 30 years ago,
Right.
but also
Did
like
I see like Chris Tucker from The Fifth Element in there?
yeah, like
At some point.
it's weird. Like, it looks like
You saw what I'm talking about.
yeah, no, there's a weird ass
I
outfit
can
in
watch
there.
This trailer in silence.
No, but it's just a mess. It
It's
looks
this
like they have
woman in like this like gold like get up that just and she's like singing.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's just really weird.
it's just weird. It
It's
looks
not
like
Star Wars. You know?
No.
It's not dirty and grungy like most of the shit that we've come to,
and the
appreciate
CGI is
in
like
Star Wars.
so crazy clean. So you're like, oh, if you were watching this and you didn't know anything about Star Wars, you're like, look at this cool film about the future and blah blah blah. But it just looks like a mishmash of things filmed over like a weird amount of time. Like, oh, we made the costumes 30 years ago for this film, and then we didn't film it till just now. Look how clean it's just a mess. It's a mess, and the trailer itself is all over the place. It's not really explained what the hell's going on. They're just like, here's a clip from this, and then, oh man, guess what? We got Donald Glover, and he's awesome, and he's gonna be the best part of this trash movie.
Yo, is Chewbacca like going through a phase?
Yeah, it's
In
got
this
like the
shit-
angsty teen face.
Like, yeah, like, because he's got like this like long shaggy hair. Like, it wasn't like, it's actually like blowing in the wind. Like,
Yeah.
Chewbacca's
Everybody's got feathered hair.
Yeah, Chewbacca's hair's not
Including Woody Harrelson.
that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's got fur.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like it's like in this it looks like he's got dreads. It looks like he's going through like a Rasta phase.
Maybe.
Can I actually?
He's really into 311 though. It's like white Rasta shit.
I'm glad you came original on that
So can I say something about this? So
Go.
Yes, I will though. I actually think originally when I watched the trailer the first time, I was kind of like, like what is this? But I've watched it a couple of times since then. I'm not as disappointed as you guys about it. Like, I kind of started to actually I started liking some of this stuff. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I mean, there are a couple people at work who I'm not going to mention that I heard in passing say, hey, what did you think of the Star Wars trailer, the Solo trailer? And that person said, I actually really loved it. He's like, I don't know what people are talking about. And I'll tell you who that was later. But I'm just saying, like, it was, like, I didn't really get as angered about this trailer as a lot of people did. Like, I felt it's the origin story of Han Solo. Like, we're gonna find questions, some answers that we might have had about where this guy came from. We might actually get to see like the Kessel Run, like, which I think is pretty awesome. Some of the things, I think there's a flip side to all of this. They're going to, however they film this, it's never going to live up to what we hope it to be, because we have been trying to paint the pictures of who Han Solo was before for the past 40 years when we didn't know anything about him. So our imaginations have created an image of what we think happened.
That's a great point.
And now you're going to try to create a movie, and it's never going to live up to 40 years of anticipation. So you got to kind of cut this director and these actors some slack. I mean, like, they're trying to do their best with these characters, and I don't care how many different ways you film the Kessel Run, it's never going to live up to what we hope it to be. So I'm kind of cutting them a little slack here.
If you want to solve the mystery of who actually liked this trailer, follow us on Facebook.
I
would.
I will say this. This is the one problem that I had with the trailer. And I'll go see this movie. I'm intrigued. But for a movie that is supposed to be all about Han Solo, they really focus on everybody else in the movie but Han Solo. I really feel like he maybe says like 3 sentences in the entire trailer. And that's it.
I got an answer for you.
I feel like everybody else, all the other characters got like top billing. And oh, by the way, Han Solo's in this movie, which is called Solo.
It's because the actor looks like garbage. He looks so bad. He looks 10 years younger than Harrison Ford does now. Like, he aged like milk.
To be fair, I felt like I felt
late 20s.
I still feel like he looks older than Han Solo. Well, Harrison Ford did as Han Solo in the first Star Wars movie we were introduced to. My opinion, and Jim, to go off of what you had said, I think there's a reason why they're showing everybody else, and to kind of tie in with that, what Ren had said too. But it takes a village, Jim. It takes a village to raise a Solo, okay? Because the name of the movie is Solo. You're thinking it's going to be about this one dude, right? But it took everybody to make Han Solo.
I get it.
He looks more like Mark Hamill, though. This actor looks so bad. I'm so bothered by his face.
Jesus. This guy didn't have a shot. Like, I'm just saying, man. All right. I don't know. That's all I got to say about Solo. So you guys can keep going. I think I'm
that picture I just here.
Yeah, I like the visuals.
Sick
and I
feathered
like
hair.
the way that the trailer looked. But I agree with you. I cannot wrap my head around how this dude got the role. Like, he doesn't strike me as being a young Han Solo. Like, I don't even think he strikes me as being an old Han Solo. Like, he's just not. I don't think he's pulling off the role from what I've seen.
He looks like a garden gnome. Like,
I look like a garden gnome. Don't compare me to him.
But yeah, so like that's I guess that's pretty much it for that trailer. I mean, anybody else have anything to say about it? I mean, like we all know where we stand.
Did they tease it during the Super Bowl or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when it came out.
Okay, but
They did.
they're originally going to do the Monday.
Trailer came out on Good Morning America.
Right.
Yeah, which is like exactly where you want to air something.
Because I remember we talked about how they were going to not put it in the Super Bowl. Like, how do you not put it in the Super Bowl?
Right.
But they did apparently. So that's
well,
good.
They teased it in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And then played the whole trailer
And Good Morning
for
America.
people that I just don't get the decision to put it in Good Morning America, but whatevs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also teased, which we didn't plan on talking about, but I'll mention it real quick, was Infinity War. Had
That I can get behind.
A little bit of extra footage shown, which looked really interesting. It wasn't enough to like have a whole discussion about, but how about that shield for Captain America, which we finally got a look at?
I'm way into it.
I thought it was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's obviously Wakandan technology, right? Like,
Back it.
pretty dope.
Absolutely. And it makes sense, especially in that realm, you know?
Yeah.
Why else would you change it up? You know?
Right.
I think I was peeing when that trailer was on TV.
Yeah, no.
Captain America has a beard now, right?
Guys, I'm derailing this shit big time right now because you're sitting right next to me, Jim.
Do it.
During the Super Bowl, there was a teaser. I think it was actually a full-length trailer for a show that I'm pretty sure you're pretty stoked about.
Castle Rock.
Castle Rock.
I am very excited for Castle Rock. Yep.
It looks phenomenal.
It's going to be Once Upon a Time for Stephen King fans.
Yes.
They take all the novels and they just kind of jumble it all into one place, Castle Rock, which is
Derry, Maine.
Yep, close. Derry, Castle Rock. Those are fictional cities that Stephen King has created in Maine, in which most of his books are located in.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Skarsgård's in it, and there's a lot of theories that he might actually make an appearance as Pennywise.
Yo, the shit that made me raise an eyebrow, though, really got me excited about this, is it looked like Sissy Spacek was in that shit. She's actually got a role in it, and I think she might be reprising either her role as Carrie or she might be playing her mom.
I will look that up
Yes.
right now.
Do that. But yeah, Castle Rock. I had to mention it because I know that you're a big Stephen King fan, as I am, and I saw that trailer and I was just like, wow, that looks awesome.
I was also a big Lost fan, and Terry Quinn, who plays Locke in Lost, is a main character.
Nice.
In Castle Rock. So that'll be neat. Sissy Spacek will be in this.
Does it say?
Castle Rock.
Who she's gonna be though?
Ruth Deaver.
Oh, so not Carrie.
Yeah, but then again, it's not to say that she might not take on another role at some point. True. I mean, that might be her main character, but if it's in the Stephen King universe, they can always have her flip as a surprise for fans.
Or she could have had her name changed because her past was
True. That's a very good call out. Very
pretty
interesting.
intense.
It's a great theory.
Yep.
I like that.
Word.
So yeah, next on the agenda is the awesome trailer for season 2 of Jessica Jones on Netflix.
So good. How many did you guys watch Jessica Jones? I know I did.
Yeah.
I don't know about.
I'm still not done with it.
All right. Did you watched it?
I watched it.
You, Ren. What did you? You're just you didn't want it. What does
I
that mean?
I have a Ren opinion.
Please
She
share
said,
with
I have
us.
a red opinion.
So what happened was I fucking hate Kristen Ritter's face so bad. Her nostrils are so huge on her face, and then she has sideburns, and the sideburn eyebrow nostril.
Sideburns?
Yeah, the sideburn eyebrow nostril ratio just makes her look like she always just smells like someone gross, and she can't not have that face. It's like she has to ride public transportation. She's one, pissed about it, and two, one guy keeps asking her what her name is and what that mouth do. That's what her face always looks like. And then
What that mouth did.
and then every trailer was just her oh, look at me, I'm edgy, I'm drinking wine in the daytime from a mug. And I was like, I can't. They focused so much on that. Every trailer was look at her, she's just angsty and she's drinking wine from a glass. And I'm like, cool, I had that phase too. I was 17 and I listened to My Chemical Romance. So it's I can't do this. I'm sure there's a lot that's going on in the show that's really great, but the way it was teased, talking about trailers and teasers, I was like, this looks fucking terrible and I can't even get down with this. So I have
honestly
not watched it. I love the comics, but I just can't.
I feel like you should watch the first 3 episodes, force yourself, because I started watching it because Cooley had talked about it, and I didn't really know too much about Jessica Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the beginning. Sorry, is that better? Yeah, cool. So that was so I didn't really watch Jessica Jones, but that was the beginning of kind of my Netflix Marvel stuff.
Okay.
So I watched Jessica Jones and then went back and watched the first and second season of Daredevil, because season 2 had just dropped, and then from there on it was Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders. But I mean, I get where you're coming from on some counts, but also there's a whole other side to her that I think is very likable. She has a very humorous sarcasm that like you just kind of align with, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because like, yeah, she's got a lot of shit going on. Like, yeah, like they do push like the kind of like day drinking a little too much.
Right.
I mean, like we get it. Like she's dealing with a lot of shit and she, you know, a lot of stuff happened to her in the past. But I don't even remember the guy's name, but the dude who played Doctor Who who's in this, what's his name? Whatever. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. But he actually, he killed it in this. Like as a villain, he was phenomenal. Like I hated this guy. Like if you actually get me pissed,
David
Okay.
Tennant.
thank you. If you
Yeah.
if David Tennant got me like legit pissed at him, he did his job. You know, and I thought the way that his character ended was phenomenal. So I'm looking
Wow,
forward to
thanks for that
season 2.
spoiler. I love it.
No, I mean, like, you had plenty of time. So it just dropped season 2, so watch it anyway. But I'm just saying, like, you gotta check it out.
She
It's
just
really
sounds
good.
like if I tried to write a Daria fan fiction when I was like 14.
Daria.
Yeah, so like I'm a fan of Kristen's from the Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23 Days.
She was in 27 Dresses.
That's
too.
what you go to?
What? Don't Trust the Bee?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that show's awesome.
Thought you'd be like Breaking Bad. Or,
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, Breaking Bad,
she was in
yep.
Breaking Bad after that, and
Yeah,
yeah,
she was.
Yeah, so like I mean,
Yep.
that's why I said since Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23 because Breaking Bad was after that, and yes, her role in Breaking Bad was a departure from her comedic role in Don't Trust the Bee, and made me actually appreciate her as an actor. But her role as Jessica Jones has been like spot on perfect. Like, and I'm a huge Jessica Jones fan. Because I'm a big Brian Michael Bendis fan, and we've talked about this on the show several times when, you know, the first season was getting ready to be released. Just like the whole concept of that character and the interracial relationship that she has with Luke Cage and how it wasn't treated, you know, with stereotypes and stuff like that. It was like literally like taken seriously. She's a great character, and Kristen Ritter actually does a really good job portraying her. And this trailer was friggin' great.
What was the line that she said that you and I both laughed at?
Which one? When he says, "I don't take no for an answer,"
Yeah, yeah.
and she says, "Oh, that's very rapey of
Yeah.
you."
Yeah. But I mean, like that's her.
Because like
That's her
it was like,
sarcasm.
but it was like a normal conversation. Like she was like saying something. He was just like, "Yeah, well, I don't take no for an answer," and she was like, "Well, that's very rapey of you."
Yeah. But I mean, if you watch Jessica Jones, like, and you get her, like that's her humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She just doesn't care. And what I really liked about the first season, which I'm hoping they actually connect with a little bit more, is her relationship with Luke Cage, because that started in Jessica Jones, and then we saw that something happened in Defenders, but I'm wondering if they kind of spiral back in this second season, because when is the second season supposed to take place in reference to everything else?
Probably after the Defenders.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, so I'm hoping
Linear.
that they pick up on that, because at the end of the Defenders, they talked about like quote unquote getting coffee or whatever. So I'd like to kind of see where that goes.
Well, it was more of her like, I think that was more of her like throwing out like a desperate like, you know, hey, maybe we can get coffee, and like he just like kind of walks out like and it's like this sad moment. I don't know if they're gonna explore their relationship further in her show. They might do it in his, but I don't think so either. I think the next time we might see them together might be the next Defenders season, if they do another Defender season, because the last one was not well received.
Right, gotcha.
Which kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you get out of it what you put into it.
I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, I didn't. You talking about like the fans get out of it?
No, I'm
What you
talking
put-
about
oh.
I'm talking about the people that made the Defenders.
Oh, okay, all right.
like it didn't get well received because you didn't give a shit about it when you made it.
I was like, what am I putting into it? What the fuck are you talking
nothing. You're watching it. I thought that was all right. Wow,
I'm watching it super
I
intensely.
didn't think that was going to be that confusing. Retract that easy comment or whatever. So next,
That's a good day.
yeah,
So that's it, huh?
yeah.
Word.
for Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
All right. So
Richard Pryor. Yeah. So he might have fucked Marlon Brando, huh?
Yeah, that's
Sounds like
what you told me.
It sounds
Anyway.
like he legit did.
All right, so I'm just gonna, I guess, take the reins on this for a moment. I apologize.
Yo, Richard Pryor did.
Oh man. So I'm a huge Richard
At least
Pryor
I think
fan.
he did. I don't know. Maybe
I'm
Marlon
with
Brando
you.
did the fucking. I
Richard
don't know.
Pryor is like one of my favorite comedians, and just his delivery, everything that he did, and everything that he was about was just like it was so left and right of center. It was awesome. So where is this coming from? Like, what's the? Could you fill me in on that? Maybe some of the listeners as well.
Totally, because I'm with you on this. Like I was actually gonna kind of say some of the same things. Like I'm a big fan of his,
and not that it changes anything. I still love him. Like I
No,
can care
I don't-
less. But like I'm just wondering.
I have a problem with this whole story because of how it's being released. So, I mean, when you basically release a story about somebody and they have no chance to rebuttal, I feel like that's kind of screwed up. And the fact that he's already passed and this information is coming out, I feel like is messed up. So basically, Richard Pryor, his widow says that he did bang. This is literally off TMZ. Widow says, yes, he did bang Brando, and there's no shame. So basically, it says it was Richard Pryor had a lot of sex in the 70s, and it was with both men and women, including Marlon Brando, according to Pryor's widow, Jennifer. Jennifer confirmed the Richard Marlon hookup, which Quincy Jones first mentioned in a Pretty Wild Vulture interview. As Q put it, Brando would, quote, fuck anything. He'd fuck a mailbox. James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye, close quote. The allegation sent the internet into a frenzy. So she is saying that Richard would have had no shame about Quincy's comments that he was bisexual, because apparently he was very open about it,
Okay.
which confused me.
Because he never talked about it.
He never talked about it in his stand-up. To my knowledge, I never knew that he was bisexual. So for her to say that she was open about it was very
he
confusing
hinted
to me.
at things during one particular roast. I remember that being an issue, that someone like just figured that he was just
Messing around.
making a comedy of it. But I guess if someone has passed, my opinion, if someone's passed and they never talked about it, not, whatever, for you to say that they were completely fine with it, but they never talked about it, I don't know. That's weird. Because
and
ahead.
I agree with you on that. And specifically, I agree with you because it even says in this article that, just to read this paragraph quickly, Richard would have no shame about Quincy's comments. She says the comedic legend was always very open about his bisexuality with friends and documented it extensively in diaries, which if you write something in a diary or a journal, that might not be for everyone.
Or talk about with
eyes.
your friends.
And the most messed up part is Jennifer says that she'll publish them later this year.
Oh,
So
wow.
some of the things that he probably didn't want released are going to come out now. He has no rebuttal, and also she's probably trying to make a quick buck.
No.
If he
Right.
was open,
Messed up, man.
if he was actually open about it, then wouldn't he be more of an icon for the LGBTQ community?
Exactly.
But maybe he didn't want to be that.
Things times are different.
Maybe he doesn't want to be an icon. Maybe that's something that he just wanted to keep to himself. Like Marlon Brando never said anything about it. Like if it's true
No,
about
for Marlon Brando though, it was just known.
right.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm just saying though, like you don't.
He didn't have to say anything. He just I think he might have just fucked
Yeah, I get
people
you.
in the open, just like, hey, come here for a sec.
I mean, I hear you on that, but I mean, also like if
That's
Richard,
how we like hook hey, come here for a second,
Yeah.
and then they fuck.
Yeah,
no,
come
I
here
hear
for a
you on
sec.
that. But if like Richard Pryor was gonna say something, then he would have said it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
don't like publish something that somebody writes in a journal that they didn't expect everyone else to say. I think that's fucked up. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I don't know. If you look at the lady, she looks straight up crazy. She's a crazy white lady with a pixie cut, and like you're like joking around with your significant other, and you're like, hey, ba 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 ba. That one time I hooked up with so and so, and then you like break up, and they're like, that time you sucked so and so's dick at that party. Like that's what this lady looks like, and she's gonna make money off of it. Like, she's gonna make money off of it. He's been dead a little while now. Her funds must have been dripping dry.
I think Brando might have just been like, "Yo, Rich, you know it'd be funny if I fucked you right now."
That's how it went down.
Yeah, and Richard Pryor was just like, "Okay,
I think drugs were a big part of it.
let's do it."
Yeah, people, you hear stories and you read stories about, like, back then, Hollywood stories, and things happened. And especially in the industry, if you wanted to get places, obviously, you can conspiracy theory all you want, but there's talk about, if you wanted to get places, you had to do things. There's a reason why those stories existed. Hey, whatever you do in your private life or whatever, if you want to keep it private, I respect that. I respect people's privacy. And to echo off of what you're saying, like, I don't know, it's just weird to print somebody's diary. Like, it's okay. Forgive me, so I'll backtrack. Do I think the Diary of Anne Frank shouldn't have been published? No, I think it should have been. It was great. It detailed in a different time, but it's completely different. They didn't publish everything.
Yeah. I mean that's a whole.
That's a different animal.
Yeah,
I think for someone's thoughts and private feelings or actions or whatever, I don't know. So do we just throw that out the window? I mean, now what's going to happen 20 years from now when people are like, well, you posted it on Facebook. Yeah, it's public knowledge. If you have a diary, that's private. It's your personal feelings and thoughts.
No, I completely agree with you. I would have felt a whole lot differently about the Diary of Anne Frank if they decided to publish it based on the fact that in it she talks about having sex with Nazis.
Oh my god.
Oh god! As soon as Anne Frank was brought up, I knew
the wheels were turning.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I
check us out on Facebook.
No, right. If that's the sole purpose why they printed it,
it's the same purpose. Yeah, I mean, you're just flipping it on its head. I mean, that's basically what you did. But it's just, I don't know. I don't really have anything much more to say about it. I just think it's messed up that she's releasing this stuff after the guy's been passed because he has no say in it. He has no control over it, and I don't know. And I feel like for somebody that has established themselves as a comedic icon and a legend, it's kind of like completely different circumstance. But Bill Cosby, he was an idol of mine since I was a kid. Bill Cosby is a great comedian. But after all that shit came out about him, it tarnished his reputation.
What stuff?
And this is going to tarnish his reputation to some
What
extent.
tarnished Bill Cosby?
Not in a bad way, but maybe people are going to hear stuff about him that they didn't necessarily expect to hear.
You're talking about Bill Cosby working with Jell-O. Got you.
Yeah, when that stuff came out. Yeah. There's
Right.
always room for Jell-O.
Oh my gosh.
And Quaaludes.
Oh jeez. Yeah, no, you're right though. To echo that too is like that shattered my thoughts and feelings about Bill Cosby because again, I grew up listening to Bill Cosby on reel to reel. So my parents would play like Bill Cosby audio and like it was great. It was
But
like
it's a little different though. Like
Yes.
like when you
I'm
look
just,
at
of course,
yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
But I'm just bringing up like a comedian parallel. That's all.
right, yeah, because like I mean like what Bill Cosby did and what allegedly happened between Richard Pryor and Marlon Brando, like there are varying degrees of whatever. Like I mean, like what happened with I honestly don't give a shit if like Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor fuck.
Same. I don't care.
As long as one of them didn't get roofied, then it has
right. As long as they were both, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's
There's consent on both sides, sure, absolutely. And if there wasn't any sort of ulterior motive, absolutely, I concur.
Yeah, it doesn't tarnish my perception.
Same here
of Pryor or Brando. I mean,
I think the problem is just the issue of it being published without someone's consent now,
right?
That they didn't openly talk about when they were alive,
right?
And I don't know, I feel like you got to respect that if someone didn't want to. Whatever they feel like about their former actions, I feel like you got to respect that. As long as they're not, obviously if they murdered somebody and then now the evidence comes up, that's a different story. But someone's sexual relations, that's their business. Whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We love you, Rich.
Yeah.
In other news,
Twizzler or Swizzle Stick, right?
Oh, wow, that's good.
I know, right?
All right, sick.
dope.
Nice. That was good.
So
I like it.
we had a great performance by Heath Ledger. Fairly recently, I want to say. Like I mean, like in movie time, fairly recently.
R.I.P. Pour one out.
Hmm?
I said R.I.P. Pour one out.
Yeah, for real. Great performance. One of the best, if not the best, portrayal of the Joker. And then we had the I don't want to call it a dumpster fire.
You just did.
We had Jared Leto's performance as the Joker in Suicide Squad. From the ashes of that performance, a phoenix rises. Joaquin Phoenix.
Nicely done.
Perhaps may be the next Joker.
Finn's pumped.
Finn actually likes the idea. What do you think?
And you looked at me when you said that?
Yeah?
Okay.
Unless I'm cockeyed. I don't know. Like,
Well, I think you looked at me. So I'm a big fan of Joaquin Phoenix, just because I think he's an excellent actor. Is he do like weird shit? Yes. like where he did that, where he tried to make us believe that he was like a middle-aged actor having a crisis, where he wanted to be a rapper and like just grew a long beard and hair, and then like went on numerous talk shows, and we were confused as to if he was serious or losing his mind, and then everybody had assumptions that it might have been for a documentary or some movie, and we were right. I mean, I don't know. He's super like method about things. And the first time I ever really saw him in a role that I thought was amazing was in Gladiator. So I mean, I like the guy as an actor. Do I think that he can pull off the Joker? I don't really know. It really depends on what he does with the character, but I just think that he's so strange sometimes and is super method about things that he could put like kind of an interesting spin on it. Like, he might do something that we don't necessarily expect him to do with the Joker. You know? And I never would have said, oh, like, who would you like to see play the Joker next? I would have never, like, thought of Joaquin Phoenix, which is why I think it might actually work. You know what I mean? Because I don't expect it. You know what I mean? I never would have expected Jared Leto to play the Joker. I wasn't blown away by his performance, but I didn't hate it either. I was kind of just like, whatever. You know? So, you know, Heath Ledger is always going to be like the best Joker I've ever seen. Second to that is going to be Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson's number one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack Nicholson was the first Joker that I had ever really seen.
Right. Yeah.
So, but it was
he
more
was so old.
But it was more of a comic book Joker.
Yes.
Whereas Heath Ledger was the Joker that you would see
Serious.
in like a real world, right? Like Christopher Nolan took Batman and put it in like a realistic setting, not like a Gotham City Tim Burton world where the trees are obviously dead. Like I just want to see what he'll do with it, and I think he might be able to pull something off. Yeah.
I personally, I have no problem with Joaquin Phoenix. I do think this is kind of a weird choice because Joaquin Phoenix has always kind of done all these art house movies.
Yeah.
And he's really not known for making kind of like a blockbuster movie, which this Joker movie will end up being. And on top of that, you said this, Jack Nicholson was an old Joker. Well, we're doing an origin story, and the actor who's going to portray the origins of the Joker is in his mid-40s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that's very surprising. I would expect you to get somebody a little younger to portray early Joker.
I mean, I also feel like if Todd Phillips has him in mind for this role, it's probably for a reason. Mm-hmm. You know, they probably have already taken that into account to some degree, his age and what the origin story is going to be. So with that being said, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. But I see your point. That's a fair point. Yeah, he is older than for an origin story, I guess. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. It's like something about Joaquin Phoenix. And it, like, so for me, you can get an actor that can really do a great job, like, portraying a character. But it takes the look as well for me. Like, and for me, Joaquin Phoenix does not have the look that it's going to take to play the Joker. To be fair, Heath Ledger I thought was too like American Pie, like, you know, nice looking guy, all that, like, just like too I don't know, too wholesome. Thank you, that's the word. But there was nothing about his look that made me think, oh well, that won't work. Right? It just wasn't the look that I would think. Like, I wouldn't have like chosen that directly. But with Joaquin, like, I actually look at that and I'm just like, I don't think that will work at all. Like, I just don't see, like, not only would he not be on my radar, but he wouldn't be, like, even if he was on my radar, it'd be like, avoid that blip at all fucking costs. Just because there's no similarities. There's nothing that makes me think that he's gonna fit.
Ren, what do you got going on? You're like, definitely no.
Yeah,
like,
it looks like Ren's kind of like
really
agreeing with me on this.
Well, I'm trying to like think back, and like The Dark Knight, if I hadn't seen that movie and I remember seeing the trailer, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, this is going to be terrible. I hate the look of him. But Heath Ledger made that performance his own. So he pulled that together. But if you just like looked at him and didn't see that movie, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? Like, it just looked bad. But he made it his own, as opposed to Jared Leto, which was just terrible all around. Like, the costume designer really fucked him over, so he had never had a chance, in my opinion, because like he had his own like mouth tattooed on his stomach, and like the whole character.
The tattoos destroyed that.
And he wore like purple sweatpants, so he was like designed to be like a Walmart costume from the start. So it was garbage, and he thought he was pulling off this like amazing role, and every interview he had with that role was just like wackadoo
really
shit.
That the Joker can sit still long enough to get a tattoo?
It was just so stupid. It really, really was.
In his defense, though, I mean, we got to see him on screen for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If that. So, I mean, I feel like maybe some of the other stuff he did, we never got to see. I'm not saying it would have been blown away, but I mean, like,
no,
they took out like 80% of his shit. I mean, that's not fair.
I wasn't blown away by it at all. I thought it was really terrible and laughable. It's like that one weird friend you have who tries to impersonate characters all the time, and you're like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, that was his role for me. And Joaquin Phoenix, I can't think of a role where I was super blown away from him from the start. Like, the one thing I really remember liking him in was Meryl, the brother from Signs.
Oh yeah, no, he was good in that.
Yeah, I liked him a lot in that role, but I'm never blown away by anything he does. He's just a really strange person. Just because someone is super weird and crazy doesn't mean that they'll be a great fit for the Joker. And it is an origin story. He's like old AF now. We always say like, oh, women age out in the industry. Like, yeah, you should age out too if you're a man and you're trying to play an origin story. My thing is, why do we keep writing movies where the Joker's just like just a ridiculous character? I just want a Joker movie where it's Willem Dafoe playing the Joker. That's all I want in my life. Yeah. Like, we've never had that. We've never had that. His voice is crazy. Yep. His face is crazy. He's got crazy mannerisms. Like, that would be fucking ballin'. And we've never had that. And if you look online, that's all fans want, is just like Willem Dafoe
as Joker.
Yeah, and we've never had that. Like,
I wonder if he's ever been approached by it. And like, if he would be open or not to it.
He was in John Wick. Like, why wouldn't he want to do the Joker? Like, he played a character in John Wick. He's just like, I just shoot people with a gun. Like
he was Nosferatu too, and that was good.
I always wanted Crispin Glover.
He'd be fucking weird too. Yeah.
That's my personal choice for the Joker. Like, I really, 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 really want a Crispin Glover Joker.
Yeah.
If they do choose Joaquin Benoit, I really hope in this new. I said Benoit.
Wow.
Benoit.
Was that a? Did you like not mean to say that?
I didn't mean to say. You can edit that out.
No, I'm gonna leave it
We're gonna start over again.
That's what she said.
If we do get Joaquin Phoenix, for this movie. I really hope that in it they explain why the Joker has a cleft lip.
What the fuck?
They might have to. I mean, but
Want to know how I got these scars?
You want to know how I got this lip?
oh man.
Birth defect.
I was gonna say something earlier and I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it. Oh no, it was so I hold my judgment or reserve my judgment about anybody playing any role until I see the trailer, and I learned my lesson because of Heath Ledger. Because I'll never forget this, is I heard about him being cast and I was like, well, that's bullshit. That's never gonna work. And then I was upstairs in my apartment and they released the teaser for it, and all it was the bat symbol with audio. And I heard his laugh as the Joker and I got goosebumps. I was like, oh shit. Like, this guy might have done something with this Joker. And it ended up being one of the best performances of the Joker I had ever seen. Yeah. So I reserve my judgment when people say that they've been cast as somebody and I don't actually think that they're fit for the role. There's a reason why casting directors have their job. And there's a reason why people are cast for things. And ever since that kind of taught me my lesson.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have jobs that they shouldn't be doing though in the world. So there might be a reason they have the job, but that doesn't mean they're good at it.
I'm saying, but there are casting directors out there who are really fit for being casting directors, and The Dark Knight was a prime example of that.
Yeah.
I also just want to jump in and say that Joaquin Benoit is a Dominican baseball pitcher.
Is he related to the wrestler?
No.
Okay.
No relation.
So let's jump in. I mean, we've got everybody here.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we do a couple of rounds of Would You Rather?
Word. Do you want me to start it off?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, do you want me to start asking you the questions? Is what
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Word. So, let's do this. So, I'm just gonna go to my right. So, Ren, we're gonna start off with you.
Okay.
So, we're gonna ask everybody 3 questions. Does that work?
Yeah, 3 questions.
3
works.
questions. All right. Cool. So, I'm gonna try to get some good ones. Oh, all right. Cool. Ren, would you rather go vegan for 1 month or not leave your home for 1 month?
Go vegan and have delightful, like, velveteen shits. I would love plant-based enriched poops and not have a McDonald's stomach ache every other day of my life. I would love to go vegan. And it doesn't stipulate, like, I have to make the food. It's like someone can bring me the food because I hate cooking.
All
like,
Somebody
I
pass me an icebreaker.
All right. Word. All right. Cool.
Sorry,
cool.
that had nothing to do with your question, but I saw the icebreakers and I want to have one.
All right. Would you rather see the Northern Lights on Christmas or make a snowman, put a bomb inside, and blow it up on Christmas?
No, I totally would love to see the Northern Lights.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh, that's still it's still a hope of mine. It's a goal. I'd love to see the Northern Lights and experience that. I love nature.
But if I can't see the Northern Lights, I'm definitely blowing up a fucking snowman.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Yeah.
And 60% agree with Jay on Northern Lights. All right, Cooley. Would you rather be good looking but everyone looks at you, or be ugly? I love the Uncle Buck pondering you do.
Well,
here we go, man. Just
it is what it is. I mean, I just keep things the way they are. Just good looking and have people look at me.
I love it.
All right, cool. So
that's why I sometimes just let myself go, man. I don't even I don't shave. I don't fucking, I gotta, because I get sick of it sometimes. But
I hear you.
But I like having the option.
89% of people agree with you. So,
who wouldn't pick? I don't know.
All right. Would you rather volcano eruption or tsunami wave?
Is this in reference to bowel movement or?
That's all it says.
Okay. Let's make it.
Feel like this
Let's make it in reference to bowel movement. just to spice it up a little.
All right.
Volcano or tsunami?
Volcano eruption or tsunami. So would you rather just have like a
So like hot and explosive, or just like
or cold and wet?
wet and volcano?
All right.
All right.
How about natural disaster?
Volcano.
All right. All right, cool. So I guess either 51% of people agree with volcano eruption. All right. And I have a stupid wave with beat the queue. So I guess we're going to wait for this to finish. You can edit this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yas.
Fuck yeah.
Halls. Mentalitus. Eucalyptus.
Okay, here we go.
Question 2.
Would you rather every time you cough a random person dies in your family,
That one.
or every time you cough you lose $100?
No, the first one. Well, we're saying like random people. But there's not a lot of random people in my family. It's a small family.
So why are you choosing that one?
I just wanted to be an asshole. So I mean, okay. Like, I'd have to go with the money thing, I guess. Every time I cough, though. Yeah, sure, whatever, money. I'll be poor.
All right.
I feel like that's the right thing to say, right? Right?
Yeah,
All
if
right.
we're worried about morals.
65% of people agree with you. All right. And your last question is would you rather have no, I'm not going to do that one. That was dumb. Would you rather be a creator of a meme or be a creator of a viral video?
Viral video, I think. Wouldn't that would kind of make... I think I'd get like a little more praise for the viral video. The meme, I kind of almost feel like no one would know it was from me. And I like attention.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's a good point. Why are you looking at? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and oh shit. All right, we're gonna do one more because this one just popped up and I really want you to do this one. Would you rather get your nipples sawed off, or completely destroy 2 fingers on one hand with a hammer?
Oh my gosh.
I like, I like the fact that I can touch things with my hands. I feel like my nipples, I'm not going to be breastfeeding anytime soon. Like, my girlfriend doesn't play with them. So, whatever. You just, slice them
Missed
off.
opportunity.
Slice them off.
Yeah, and
All
then
right.
I think then just do like the X's, like put the little like the X tape on them,
Yeah.
and go to the beach. And
Go to the beach. That's the biggest concern. All right, cool. Jim, you're gonna do it? All right, cool. There you go. There we go. I didn't even see that. So,
So Tony, would you rather be the guy who came up with spicy Pepsi, or be known as the guy that put together the Venom trailer?
is that really on there?
No, I made this one.
who the fuck did come up with spicy Pepsi?
All right.
And I'm obviously having a hard time figuring out which one is worse. Spicy Pepsi.
There was a whole bunch of people too that was like, "That is a good idea. Print to market."
I'm gonna be the guy who created the Venom trailer because I think it's hilarious how many people it's pissing off.
Okay.
Well done.
No,
All
that's
right.
it. We're gonna wrap it up, folks. Join us
there
next
it is.
week. In the meantime, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Snapchat. What the fuck else can they
Facebook.
follow us on? Did I say Facebook? I think I did.
Who knows?
But I'm gonna say it again. Facebook, LinkedIn. we can probably get you a job. There's so many ways to fucking contact us. Just do them all.
The new and improved Redbeard Tinder profile. That's right. No, I'm just kidding.
And YouTube.
Yep.
Later.